on is about the tragedy. Okay, I just want to mention this and the trouble at Bridgewater, at Old Colony up in Massachusetts. Anybody should, if you can, get a hold of the Phoenix paper. Take a look at the big article it's in there on the unbelievable amount of suicides that are happening in that place and the abuse. Okay, I mean, we deal with justice issues. That's why we're on TV. That's why we do public access. We don't do it, to play mamby-pamby or any of that stuff. We're here dealing with hard issues. Some of the issues you may not want to hear about, and I'm sorry, but we're here for the people inside, and we really feel bad for what's going on up there, and we're going to do a whole show. I'm going to be talking to Bobby. I know he's Bobby DeLello is mentioned in that article, and Bobby and I will be doing a justice show on the issues of Old Colony and what's happening in our prison systems, not only up there in Massachusetts, here in Connecticut, and again, it's a tragic story. So I'm loaded with tragic stories today, real tragic stories. And again, we're going to talk about the best interest of the child and what's going on. And I'm going to go to a tape that I've done earlier and interviewed Bonnie. I hope that you'll watch the tape. And I want you to know, it's not just one case that we're working on and are interviewing. We have several cases that have gone through the court, that are continually going through the court, and we're concerned. In fact, we're going to be dealing with one, and I want you to take a look at this. I cannot believe this was on the internet, and I turn this over to the state police. Homeless baby needs a truck and van, and you're going to have a picture of the mother nursing a baby and these clowns. Okay, how'd you like to see something like that? I hope you're able to see this clearly in our picture. I'm dealing with somebody in court. I'm dealing with that guy with the I'm dealing with the guy with the long hair there. He's trying to get his visitation with his oldest daughter. I hope to God, I don't know if they call this the best interest of the child, but this is absolutely outrageous. Imagine placing this on the internet. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, I hope Child Services is taking a look at this. This is the way this guy is dealing with his baby. This is unbelievable. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Look at this. You got this? You see this baby? This baby is sleeping in the middle of truck tires. Truck tires. Now, I know poverty, but imagine, it's not so much the poverty, but would you have your baby sleeping in the middle of truck tires? Look at the little hand on the dirty, filthy tires, okay, that the baby will put in her mouth, okay, and this is a horrible situation. I'm dealing with the father of this child who hasn't visited his older child in 2 years and wants to reconstitute visitations. I don't know what Child Service is going to do, but I'm going to keep you informed on this one. Can you believe it? Best interest of the child. This is what he's doing, okay, with his little one now, and he wants to reconnect with his older child. Hasn't even paid child support, the piece of garbage. He's a bum. On the internet, they put this stuff on the internet. Public access. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Now, with that, I'm going to go to a lady who never abused her child, never did anything wrong, cared for her child, tried to protect her child, did everything to protect the child from abuse. And Child Services has stopped the visitation with her child and has for 5 years. There's something wrong. Best interest of the child. There is something wrong, and I hope that Chief Justice is watching these show. I want to go to the tape. Let us go to the tape. Good evening. This is Street Talk, and I'm Father Russ. Uh, in fact, this might even be on the Struggle for Justice show. We're kind of doing two shows during the summer. I'm helping out my associate Robert DeLello with Struggle for Justice, and we're filling in with some shows from Street Talk, and we're going to be back on live in about because I believe in about 5 weeks we're going to be back live in October on Thursday night. So
that's exciting.
yeah, so we're looking forward to getting back in the controversial struggles. And again, as you see, last week we had a show with one of the interviews with you. In fact, we have 2 weeks in a row, and we're going to go for a third
3
week. Yeah,
We'll just keep going.
Okay, we just keep going. As you know, and for those of you in the background who are just tuning in, this has been all about child protection and courts and family court.
Yes.
Is what I've been doing this whole procedure on. And as you know, I'm working currently with some people that are going
Yes.
through family court and have had some problem. You have been in family court for
Longer than anybody should ever be.
and you've been wonderful enough to allow me to interview you on the issues that I've been concerned with, especially around the child, and so that's what this whole series has been about, and what I'm going to be continually doing. Again, as I said, I am involved in several things that are going on right now in various courts around the state, and I found them very different, where some are very unwelcoming and don't like advocacy there, and where another one may be totally open and understand that people have a right to having advocates and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
so I'm finding each one very different.
I have too. I think we talked about that last time too, because I had helped somebody in another court up in Waterbury, and I had found the differences to be just absolutely amazing. The
Yeah.
differences of listening, allowing advocates, actually listening to the documents, letting people speak, making logical decisions, as opposed to just kind of turning it into a cattle drive and running over you like they do in the local one here.
Well, and the biggest issue is with the child services that I'm dealing with, is people getting their child or not getting their child, and I didn't want to mistake. I guess we did the last show, and when we looked at it, you thought, you felt, I didn't feel that way, but you felt that it might have reflected on you a little bit of being some kind of an abuser. Am I right?
I did. I thought that maybe I wasn't clear enough when I was talking about my trial, and I had wanted to clarify that the only thing that I was, not saying the only thing, but I was arrested for custodial interference. I wasn't arrested for kidnapping. I wasn't arrested for abuse or neglect. The only thing that I was ever charged with and cleared of was custodial interference. And of course, during the trial, I was cleared of that based on the facts of all of the abuse that had been reported and proven, had been reported to the authorities locally and had been substantiated.
And that's
So-
why I guess I wanted to make sure that is clear, because as I had read your case and I had gone over it, I was under some misconceptions because of newspapers reports
Sure.
and you and you get these things that are skewed the wrong way, or that you don't really understand or grasp what the issue is.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that I had it right also, and in fact. The biggest problem I have is there is no apparent reason that I can find legally why that you don't have your child or haven't had your child with you since way back when. And this is very disturbing. There's no
very-
abuse. There's
No.
there's nothing like this. There is somebody who just said, "Oh, you ain't gonna get it, and you're not going to have it,"
For
and
whatever
that's
reason,
it.
and
for
we've
whatever
decided.
reason.
Yeah,
And we've
it's-
decided. I've watched all your paperwork. In fact, it is the opposite of what your paperwork says. Your paperwork says you're supposed to have regular visits and all this stuff, and you don't.
Well, if you go back even a little further, say to the trial time, like I said, I was arrested for custodial interference. It was